Hi, today I'm going to do a lesson with you on making the lowercase letter I and the lowercase letter U on the line. Your grown-up has at home a page that looks like this, and this tells your grown-up the correct letter formation, the correct way to make a lowercase I on the line, and the correct way to make a lowercase U on the line. So your grown-up will get this page out and help you with the steps as you're learning, okay? You have at home something that looks like this with the writing lines, okay? On one side, you have a great big writing line. There are 4 lines. The top line is the skyline. The dotted broken line is called our airplane line. This line is the grass line, and the very last line down here, the 4th line, is the worm line. That's the one that we don't use very often. Okay, there are only about 4 or 5 alphabet letters that we actually use the worm line with. Okay, on your page that you have at home that looks like this, on the other side, you have something that looks like this, with 3 boxes at the top and 3 sets of writing lines. Here is a set, here's the second set, and here's a third set, okay? Today, I'm going to model and show you letter writing with the great big line on this side that looks like this, okay? All right, so I'm going to use my dry erase marker. So if you don't have your things, I'm going to let you go ahead and get your things so that you can do this with me, okay? You're going to need your dry erase marker and your dry erase board. If you don't have those things, go ahead and stop and pause the video and go get them, okay? All right. So we're going to start with lowercase letter I. Lowercase letter I is a plain line letter, so it's going to start right here on the plain line. We're going to point to the plain line, trace down to the grass line, pick our pen up, and put a dot on the top. And that's how you make an I. So let me make one for you. I start at the plain line. I trace straight down to the grass line. I stop. See how I stopped right here on the grass line? I didn't go down below. Okay, pick my marker up, go right up above this airplane line and put a dot on. Just a little dot like that, okay? Now, what we don't want to see with lowercase I is a big circle like this. We don't want to see a big dot like that. So I'm going to erase that. And I'm just going to put a small little dot at the top. There, like that. Now, I want you to make one with me. So I'm going to put my finger space down. I've already made a letter. And I need to remember that when I write letters and numbers, I put a finger space between them so that they're not too close together. So I'm going to put my finger space down, and that shows me where to start my next letter. So on the other side of my finger, so about right here, I'm going to start. So I start at the plain line. I trace down to the grass line, and I stop. Notice how I stopped right at the grass line. Pick my pen or your pencil up because you're going to use a pencil. You're using a pen, your dry erase marker pen right now, and put a dot on the top, okay? Now, if you want to go ahead and stop, pause the video, go ahead and do that, and I want you to make 2 eyes just like Miss Gideon did, okay? All right, now we're going to turn to the back side. I'm going to erase that, and I'm going to turn to the back side. And I'm going to find the 3 boxes and the 3 writing lines on the back. Now, this time, we're going to use this first set of lines right here. So you see there is a skyline, a plain line, a grass line, and a worm line. So we're going to stay right in here. We know that lowercase I is a plain line letter. So I'm going to start and I'm going to touch my airplane line. So I want you to touch this first airplane line just like Miss Gideon's doing. Okay? I want us to trace with our finger and show this letter before we make it. So let me get close so you can see it. All right, start at the plain line. Come over just a little bit so you can see. Start at the plain line, trace down to the grass line, pick it up, and put your dot on the top. All right, now let's try it together. Touch your airplane line with your pen, your marker, go down and touch the grass line and stop. So I have something that looks like this. Okay, now I'm going to pick my marker up and I'm going to go back up to the top and I'm going to put a little dot on just like that. And I want to make sure that I stop right on that grass line. So I'm just going to fix that so it doesn't go below. All right, now I'm ready to put a finger space down beside this I and try one more. So I'm going to go on the other side of my finger and I'm going to try another one. So about right here. Start at the plain line, go down to the grass line and stop. Go up to the top and put a dot on. Now, I want you to pause your video so that you can finish writing some I's on this line for me, okay? I want you to write 4 or 5 more I's, whatever you have room for, lowercase letter I's, on this first line using a finger space in between each one, okay? So I'm going to let you pause or stop the video while you do that, and then we'll pick back up and we will do some more. So I'm going to pause, and I want you to pause and do that. Okay, yours should now look like mine. I stopped the video and paused it so that I could finish writing I's on the rest of my first line. Now, I want you to look at my lowercase I's that I wrote. I'm going to put them close so you can see them on this line. I want you to ask yourself a couple of questions as you look at mine. 1, do all of my I's start on the skyline? Yes, they do. 2, do all of my lowercase I's go down and touch the grass line? Yes, they do. Let's look at them. Okay, last question. Do all of my lowercase I's have a finger space between them? Okay, let's look and see. Let's see if I can take my finger space and put it in between my I's. Ready? Let's try. Yep. All right, I want you to take your finger space and I want you to check and see if you can get your finger space in between your lowercase I's that you wrote. And if you answer yes, that you can, then you know that you left enough space. If you can't get your finger space in between your letters, then that tells me they're too close together. And you need to erase and put some space. All right, now we're going to erase our board one more time and turn back over to the big writing side, line side, this one. where we started. Now we're going to learn how to make a lowercase letter U on the line, okay? So once again, your grown-up has this page, okay? And this tells your grown-up the steps that you're going to follow to learn to make a lowercase letter U on the line. Lowercase letter U is also a plain line letter, just like lowercase I is, okay? So we're going to start on the plain line again. I'm going to first trace it with my marker and show you what it looks like to trace it, okay? Then I'll practice making one with the marker. We're going to point to the plain line. We're going to go down to the grass line. Now, when I do that step, it looks just like a lowercase letter I. Okay, we're going to curve back up to the plain line. So we're going to curve back up to the plain line. And then we're going to trace straight back down to the grass line. And that's our U. So now I'm going to make one with the marker to show you. I'm going to start at the plain line. I'm going to trace straight down, and it looks like a lowercase letter I, but I'm not going to stop. I'm going to curve back up to the airplane line, and I'm going to trace straight back down to the grass line. U, up, That's what our U looks like. Notice how I did not go down below the grass line. All right, I want you to try a letter U with me. So you get your marker, and you start at the skyline. Now I'm going to put one right beside mine as you work with me. All right, let's start at the plain line. Let's trace straight down to the grass line, go back up, put a curve on it, curve back up to the airplane line, and trace straight back down to the grass line. U, up, Good. Now, notice when I made my second one, I left some finger space in between. Okay, so I want you to do another one right beside mine. You can pause your video right now so that you can go ahead and practice a couple of these on the big line. So go ahead and pause your video and do that. All right, now we're going to erase and move to the back side and practice the U's on the back side. So now we're on the side again with the 3 writing lines. Once again, we're going to just use the first set of the lines. So right here, we've got skyline, airplane line, grass line, and worm line. This set right here is all we're going to use, this first line, okay? So I want you to find your marker with me. And we're sitting up nice and straight and tall. I'm holding my board up when I write so that you can see on the screen. But when you do your writing, you're holding, your board is flat on a table in front of you, okay? All right. Pick up your marker. Remember that when we write with a pencil, marker, crayon, whatever we're using, we use our pinchy fingers, our index finger and our thumb. We give it a pinch. We set it on the bench, okay? All right. So here we go to practice our U's. I'm going to start at the plain line. I'm going to trace straight down to the grass line, curve around, go back up to the airplane line, and trace straight back down to the grass line. U, up, All right, now I want you to practice one. All right, after you get one on the line, you're going to put your fingers spaced down, and we're going to do one more right beside it. Okay, so I'm going to leave finger space and come on the other side, and I'm going to start once again at the airplane line, trace straight down to the grass line, curve back up to the airplane line, and go straight down to the grass line. U, up, All right, now I want you to pause your video. I'm going to pause my video, and I'm going to finish writing some more U's on this first line right here, using my finger space in between each U. Okay, so I'm going to pause. Okay, now I just finished writing some more lowercase u's on the line. Let's ask ourselves those same questions that we did just a minute ago with lowercase I. Let me make this close so you can see it. First question, did I remember to start at the airplane line? Let's look all the way across. Yes, I did. Okay. Do all of my U's go down and touch this grass line? Let's look at them. Yes. None of my U's go down below the grass line. Okay. Last question. Did I remember to put a finger space between my letters? Let's look and see. I'm going to check and see if I can get my finger space down in between my letters, and you can check yours. If you're answering yes to this question, yes, I can put my finger space in between my letters, then that means your letters are not too close. If you cannot get your finger space in between your letters, then your letters are too close and you need to spread them out and use a finger space. Okay? Good job today. I'm so proud of you. Thank you for practicing lowercase I and lowercase u with me.